Okay, so let me tell you about the psychological chokehold this book had me in. All right. I finished this book at like what 1:40 something a.m. Not because it's like super long. This is like what 241 pages. I could have sat down in one sitting like 3 hours and inhaled it like it was nothing. But the problem lied in the fact that this was not just any other normal book. This wasn't just dark romance. This was a psychological, spiritual excavation that I did not sign up for. I'm currently listening to the audiobook, but my frontal lobe is still throbbing at what I read because I'm still thinking back on some of the chapters that I read back then, and I'm like trying to connect the dots because my subconscious is still taking time to catch up on it. So let me give you a rundown on what the book is about. I am not the best person to summarize a book or anything like that because I usually love my way of talking about books or things that I've read or watched is to give you analysis on it, which I'm doing now. But to give you a summary on something, I can't. I truly can't. So I'm gonna try my best. So this book is about a psychologist, London Noble, falling in love with her serial killer patient who is going to be put on death row, Grayson Sullivan. Now, the book is basically just Grayson burrowing into London's head like a fucking goddamn termite eating your bed frame. Okay, he gets in there, and the minute he gets there, he does it. And what pisses me off is the way he does it. He just, it's not a matter of I'm manipulating you. No, it's a matter of I am giving you choices. You choose and tell me if you want to be manipulated. And you always choose to be manipulated because he knows exactly what you want and what you need. And well, it's so frustrating, but so damn sexy at the same time because what do you mean? Like, so reading this book really it was a journey. It was a fucking journey. I remember reading the last 100 pages. I would read 2 pages, put it down, pace around my room because I'm trying to make sense of what I read, and then come back again because I'm like I didn't get anything. Reread those pages and then continue reading. And then after 3 pages, it finally clicks. The last 2 pages that I read, that's when they finally clicks. I'm like, oh my goodness. I am in psychology 101 and I didn't even pay tuition. I'm like, wait, what? So I genuinely, this book really, I can't speak because it truly feels like Grayson is still inside my head. Like it did not ask for my kid. Wow, I can't even speak because how overwhelmed I am by this book. Like it didn't ask for my attention. It literally consumed me mentally, psychologically, and spiritually, emotionally as well. Like it took every single part of me and was like, I'm gonna lay you bare. I see every single part of you, and I fucking appreciate you for being you. The way the book is written really stood out for me. I feel like it's one of the best things that I've read this entire year because I don't know how to explain it, but it feels so fucking fantastic. When I tell you Grayson burrowed into my psyche, it literally felt like I was no longer reading a story about London and Grayson anymore. It just felt like I was sitting in a chair and Grayson was my serial killer therapist telling me, okay, now tell me what it is that you struggle with. What are some things that you feel shame about in this world? And then in doing so, he made me realize that you need to live authentically in your life. Like, that's the crazy part about this. As fucking psychotic as he is, this man, oh my word. So Grayson, his entire purpose of this, like what he symbolizes for me as a character is he symbolizes your most authentic self. He symbolizes authenticity, he symbolizes self-trust, everything like that, because that's what he tries to instill in London. That's what he wants to get out of London because she's been living a lie and not accepting herself for who she truly is. And he's doing all of these things in order to show her that this is who you are and this is the person that you've been hiding from the world because you feel like society isn't going to accept you. And like I said before, he's crazy, he's psychotic, he is an actual like clinically diagnosed psychopath. So he doesn't have shame or any feelings like that. And because he doesn't have feelings like that, he tells her that you can also live like this. You not necessarily kill people, but like that was his point. That was his entire, like that's his entire persona and stuff. Like he told her that shame and guilt and embarrassment, all those kinds of feelings that society has put upon you, those aren't your own feelings. Like you choose to feel that way. You get me? You can choose to feel shame for a decision you made. You can choose to feel regret for a decision you made 5 years ago, but you can also choose to not live like that. And he said that I chose to not live like that because I've spent my life trying to fit into society. And then it got to a point where I was like, I'm not fucking enjoying life. So let me choose to enjoy my life and not live without shame. And that was beautiful for me because as someone who struggled with actually accepting herself, accepting her truest self, and who I like and what I like to do in my life, it it spoke to me on such a deeper level to actually like I'm someone who has come very far to be the confident and very self-trusting person that I am today. And I wasn't seeking any sort of validation in life or anything like that. But hearing Grayson say that and doing all of the things that he did throughout the book, I felt seen. I felt like I belong, and it made me break down at like 1 a.m. And it was like, this is beautiful because this man was written to actually get into my psyche and reflect to me that the way that I've been living, the choices that I've been making, and choosing to be myself is the right way to live. And I fucking love that. It's midnight and I have a project to finish, but here I am, stuck in the trenches of Grayson Pierce Sullivan. Oh my lord, what this man symbolizes is beyond me. I feel like it was a great idea to read the book first before listening to the audiobook. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook after this, and I have like um 30 pages left of the book. Guys, read the books. The wonders of reading a book, and mid sentence everything just clicks into place and you just fucking fall apart. Absolutely stunning. Jesus Christ, this is why I love dark romance. Oh my lord. Now let's talk spice because I don't know if I should say I was disappointed or kind of like underfed because I went in there, I was like 241 pages, so it's gonna be fast paced. We gonna get some spicy moments. Not that much. The first spicy moment we got was like what, in chapter 11, which is the chapter that that's the chapter that made me realize, okay, I'm a sucker for Grayson. There's this scene where they are like Grayson has London pinned on her desk with her hands and stuff. Her back is to him, and then I don't know what was happening. I can't remember clearly. And then London ends up saying that I'll scream because there's a guard on the outside of her office. And then Grayson goes, and then he's chained. By the way, he's chained. He takes the chains, puts them over her neck, and goes, "I will crush your windpipe." And I said, I am in dark romance territory that I love. Because dark romance is meant to push your boundaries. It's not supposed to overstep that shit and disregard it like it was never there. It's supposed to push your boundaries, test your moral compass. And he was testing my moral compass like, nah, bruh. I didn't even know where north and south were. I was like, is this east? Is that north? Is that south? I didn't know because that man really had that shit tested. And then an actual like really spicy scene we got in chapter 29, which is my favorite chapter. It's the most highlighted chapter in that entire book. When I listen to the audiobook, I'm gonna go back and highlight more things because there are so many lines that I want to hear that man say. Oh. Anyways, so it's the most highlighted chapter there, and it's quite literally it kept me fed. Like that whole chapter fed me enough for more than three romance books. I could not read three romance books now and I'd still be okay because, oh, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna spoil it either way. it's a scene where it's after their first kill now, both of them. It's after their first kill. And then this man decides to come up from the back and backhugs her. I'm a sucker for a back hug. Okay. And then they end up talking, and then London expresses how she failed her mission in order to extract like information from the victim. The victim was a predator who preyed on young kids. He was, you get me? So great. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that like that's Grayson's entire persona. He targets people who have harmed other innocent people, so pedophiles, yeah, well, people like that, like the real nasty peoples of the world, that's who he targets. Great. So this is after they've done that, and then London is like, I didn't get to know where the boy he kidnapped is. And then Grayson turns her around and he goes, "Baby, I know you. I trust you. That boy is safe. I would never do something like that because I know you would never be able to live with the guilt of not saving that little boy. So I saved him before everything else to ensure that you don't have to live with that guilt. You can trust me." I said, "Hallelujah. I trust a man now. I trust a man." And then the thing that made me drop my phone, giggle, kick my feet up at one was after he said all that, he gave her a forehead kiss. Anyways, I'm totally not normal about forehead kisses. It's quite literally one of the most cutest and romantic things you could ever do. So, in the midst of a man that, like, the man fell into like a bath of sulfuric acid, he's busy melting everything like that. And we're having this cute little romantic moment, which later turns onto one of it's a spicy moment. It's a spicy moment. So, yeah, we got that. And like I said, I'm a bit disappointed in regards of spice. I expected more spice, but then again, I kind of felt like for the lack of spice, they made up for fucking me up mentally. So, Trisha, you did good there. Now, if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it 5 stars. First of all, I am a very stingy star giver when it comes to books because I love books more than anything in this entire planet. So I love storytelling a lot. So your book needs to be like really, really good. So I'm very stingy with my stars. But this one, it earned that shit immediately because it truly, truly, I truly felt like I was losing my mind. I yo yeah, guys, be careful when you go into this because I feel like if you're someone who doesn't read books in order to find like the deeper meanings into this will the brilliance of it will fly over your head and you will miss it. So if you're someone who reads books and seeks like your subconscious automatically seeks out the depth of a book and the deeper meaning towards it, this will stick into your brain and haunt you for a couple of years. I'm not talking about like haunt you in the sense of there was very traumatizing things in there. I'm looking at you specifically hunting Adeline. Haunting Adeline was calm. Hunting Adeline, that shit traumatized me. So it's not in the sense of like hunting Adeline traumatizing, but more in the sense of something that you will think about for a couple of years because I know for a fact the way this book crept into my mind, sat down with my demons, and held a tea party with them and said, "We see you, we recognize you," and looked me in the face and said, "Baby girl, we see you and we understand you," and gave me a hug. That's something that I will never be able to forget for the rest of my life. So 5 stars. Fucking 5 stars. So I think, yeah, that's all. I would definitely recommend this. And to people who read books and like if you're not a dark romance reader, I would definitely recommend this to you because this is like fluff. This is nothing to me. This is cutesy stuff to me. Yeah, well, the only thing that makes it seem like it's dark romance is the fact that like he's a serial killer and then your moral compass gets shaken up because why would you fall in love with things like that? But like it's fiction and all of that. You get me? Because if you strip away the extremities of all of that things and look at Grayson as a person in real life, you would fall in love. Okay, okay. Because this man not only went through like lengths to ensure that he makes this woman face the demons and heal and go in like a therapy, like a therapy type of things. He molded himself in order to be what she needed to be able to walk through the fires of hell. That's her mind. Okay. He molded himself in order to be strong enough to hold her hand and walk next to her when they deal with the dark, dark pits of hell in her mind. You get me? So why wouldn't I fall in love with that? You get me? So I feel like in a sense of dark romance, it's not that dark. I would definitely recommend this to you to read. And if you're looking for something to read that will make you think in a very different perspective or deeper perspective, I would recommend it. But then again, not a lot of people are like me and literally see the things that I see in books. But you would see other things that you see if your perspective is like that way. And I love the fact that we can all read the same books and still have different interpretations of it, because that's what I like about literature. We would read the same thing and have different interpretations of it because of the way we view our world, our perceptions of the world, and the glasses we have on that view the world are so different that it brings forth so many beautiful colors as to how we would see one piece of literature. So I would love for you guys to view your own interpretation of the book. So I definitely recommend that. It's a two-part book. The first book is Born Madly, that's London's story. Born Darkly. Hold on, what the hell? Sorry, my bad. Born Darkly is London's story. Born Madly is Grayson's story, which is the second book, which I'm going to read immediately after I finish the audiobook. And I'm currently listening to the audiobook. So I'm trying not to mix my thoughts that I have for the audiobook with the thoughts that I have for the ebook, because those are two different things. Bro, reading a book and listening to a book are so different. So be aware of that as well, because I'm gonna give a review for the audiobook as well, because it was just a different whole it's a different experience. Like, I'm levitating. Anyways, Born Darkly by Trisha Wolfe, 5 stars. Fucking loved it.